Today's a little follow-up video on the Ninja Thirsti, and we just want to do a review video or follow-up review video to let you know what we think of it nowadays. So as I talk, I'm just going to kind of use it for anybody watching a Thirsti video for the first time, just so you can have some idea of how it works. Basically, it comes with these containers of flavor. This is kind of a starter pack that it came with, and it had all these different flavors. So peach mango, strawberry, kiwi, raspberry, there's all different ones here. And if you watch our original review, which we'll link down below, you're going to see how much I love this thing. But have things changed? Have things changed? They just might have. Stick with me. So you just load the pods, or whatever they're called, into here. Now these are basically almost empty, by the way, so I'm hoping that we're going to get enough flavor in them to actually taste something here. A couple things to point out on the buttons here. You can see, Mark, I don't know if you can see that, where this little bubble button is orange. What that means is this CO2 tank, I don't know if you can get a shot of that marker on the side. So the CO2 tank, which installs in the back here, that means it's almost empty. So it would have maybe 10 to 20 drinks left in it, something like that. So in this case, I'll just leave it on 1 for the sparkle level. And again, to get all the, what all this means, check out our original review, but sparkle level 1, we'll go that size, sure, and I'm gonna have peach mango. So start. When we reviewed this before, I was blown away by this thing. After we were done shooting it, I claimed it for the Average Kitchen 2.0, and I actually used it daily, multiple times a day for quite a while. Now I did mention that the flavor pods are almost empty, and that goes for these other flavor pods too. Most of them, if not all of them, are pretty, like this one I think is empty. Most of them are pretty empty. The only ones that aren't really empty are the lemon and lime, which I guess I didn't use as much. But anyway, I mentioned these are almost empty. The reason for that is the thing turned orange, they started emptying, so I thought, well, I'm gonna go on Ninja's website and I'm gonna order more. As you do, because it's a consumable product, you need to replenish. So I was using this for, let's call it, between a month or two. Let's call it 6 weeks. And that's how long the CO2 canister lasted. Daily use for me until this orange light came on, so I had to replenish it. Along with that, the flavor pods, as I mentioned, they were emptying. I had to order more of those because they run out. So I went on the Ninja's website, Ninja Canada for us, and I tried to order more and everything was out of stock. Okay, well you could get CO2 tanks at the time, but I thought, well, what's the point of getting a CO2 tank if I can't get the flavor pods? They actually have a CO2 tank replacement program, which actually seemed like a pretty good program. You send them back, the empty one, they send you 2, so you always have one that you can use all the time. Sounded great, but again, no flavor pods in stock. I checked Ninja website, Ninja's US website, nothing, all out of stock. Amazon, out of stock, I couldn't find one. And what happened was, I just kind of stopped using it. Mark, you want a strawberry kiwi?
Yes, please. A little extra fizz for me, please.
Okay, let's do, you want 1 flavor or 2 flavor? 1 shot or 2 shot?
Let's do a 2-shot, 2 carbonation.
Okay. So while that's mixing for Mark, so again, I couldn't find one. So I just kind of stopped using it because I was running out of flavors. I was trying to save the little amount left of the flavors that I liked until I could get more. And I kept checking and I kept checking. And I even signed up on Ninja's website to be notified when they got in stock. And as far as I know, unless I missed it in my email, I never did get an email that it was back in stock. Fast forward, my sister-in-law actually said, hey, I'm gonna buy a Ninja Thirsti. And I said, well, great, but you're not gonna find a flavor pod. And she said, well, no, they're on Amazon. Oh, okay, well, I guess they're in stock now. All that to say, in the time that I haven't been using it, I've realized, for me, I don't really need it. And the idea of spending money on these consumables and to replace these things, say every month or two, it's almost like another monthly bill, certainly a yearly bill, that you're just gonna add into your budget. Is that a huge deal? That's up to you. We have had comments too about the CO2 tank and how, this is Ninja's, but there's ways you can fill it yourself, and maybe you can use different ones, third-party ones. Probably that's the case. Here you go, Mark, please, enjoy. Maybe that's the case that you can do that with these CO2 tanks. An extra bill, worrying about if they're in stock or not, That's not for me. This Ninja Thirsti will be moving on. So just to throw some numbers at you that'll kind of tell the story of why I don't want this anymore, or why I'm not going to use it anymore. We did the math, so a flavor pod, or they call it water drops, from the Ninja website, now this is Ninja Canada, $7.99 Canadian dollars, plus tax, of course. And then the CO2 canister, $39.99 plus tax for the CO2. Now you can save 30% if you do their program and all that, which is great. But keeping with those numbers, we figured out, not including tax, for $8 you get 17 drinks out of a water drop, is what it says. 17 12-ounce drinks. Out of the CO2 canister, you get 100 12-ounce drinks. Do all the fancy math, that's about $1 roughly, if you include tax, per drink, which is way more expensive than you would pay if you bought a case of anything, really. When I say monthly bill, when I say I don't want another monthly bill, to me that's kind of a monthly bill or even a daily bill. If I'm going like this, hitting a button and every time it's $1, well then I'm not gonna want to drink too many because I can have that on my mind. And then if I really use this a lot, I don't know, 100 drinks, that's 3 a day in a month. So you're spending $40 a month on CO2, not to mention all the water drops. To me, that's a little much. Now, that aside, I'm being negative. The positive of this, you're gonna love the Ninja Thirsti. It's delicious. It's fantastic. It works awesome. As far as how it worked, I don't have a bad thing to say about it. It's purely based on money. It's the only reason I wouldn't get it again. But do you have a Ninja Thirsti? What do you think of my arguments here? Let us know in the comments. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.